Welcome to the SBT Energy Therapy podcast. You will be listening to Laura Lopez and Jamie O'Shea performing live energy healing sessions on guests. We believe the shares and wisdom in this episode will support you as well.
We're excited. Let's get started. Welcome to the SBT Energy Therapy podcast. Today we have a wonderful guest. Super excited that he's here with us and we get the opportunity to serve him today. Sam.
Hi.
There we go.
Hi, Sam.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about where you live, how old you are, and a little bit of anything, but just where you live and how old you are.
So I live in Costa Rica, in Tamarindo, Costa Rica, and I am 27 this year. 26 still, turning 27 in October.
In October. That's a great month to have a birthday. So we're excited that you're here, and we'd like to ask you that if you could heal one thing or shift one thing, either physically, mentally, or emotionally, that might improve your life, what would it be?
I think it would be in this present moment, trying to learn or understand if I'm allowed to still carry on living life the way I used to, knowing that my dad is going through a hard time now.
Can you tell me a little bit about when you say he's going through a hard time without sharing too many details? How do you mean? How is this impacting you?
So my dad has been placed with a timeline on his life, a deadline, been diagnosed with something, and just knowing the fact that he might or might not, I mean, there's still a chance that he might be around, it might not, but just the fact of knowing that there is a deadline for his life.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So sorry. It's heartbreaking. So your dad has been diagnosed with a terminal illness, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Aggressive
the word.
terminal illness. Okay. And may I ask how much more time he has with us based on what they say?
Based on what they say, it's hard for certain, but it's 3 to 4 years.
That is not a long time. That would be devastating to get that news for sure. Yeah. And so your question is, how do I go on being happy like I used to, knowing that my dad?
Honestly, I wouldn't say happy, just being able to carry on living life the way I used to. Because I mean, life's not always happy before.
Yeah.
But carrying on to live life, doing the things I'm doing or used to doing without having to know that there is this going on in my life.
So I imagine, and I'm just guessing here, so just tell me if I'm wrong, okay? That your day-to-day interactions, and I know a little bit about you, Sam. I know that you're a go-getter. I know that you are a very sociable person, typically, that you connect well with others. I know that you like to surf. I know that you do an amazing job with photography and videography, and that this requires you to really be connected to people, that you do a great job connecting to others. And I would imagine that this knowingness, like this weight that your dad is dying and he's suffering, is weighing, that the thought of that is weighing on your heart and making your day-to-day interactions challenging. How would you say life is different today than it was now having this knowledge?
I think it's just a burden to carry on. I know I can't stop. Like, life keeps moving on my end, at least. And being social is not something I've always wanted. I don't want to be social. I don't like being social, but it is my way of life. It is my bread and butter. Having to talk to people, having to interact. And so it has to keep going no matter what. And I do my best, but at the end of the day, with this add on to it, there's just this burden of having to do it more than I already need to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like before this happened, like I don't like it, but I still do it. I still talk to people. I still do this and that. And here and there it's fun, but with this to add on to it, it just makes it a little bit more challenging where I have to smile and I have to, when I don't want to smile, I have to strike conversations when I don't want to and things like that.
Yeah. That's really difficult. Jamie, do you have a thought here before I go on?
I mean, I just understand what that feels like, having to fake a smile, right? and to carry through with that. And so how do you pass that? And even if it's, I guess my first thought coming up too, is there a part of you, I know that your father doesn't live near you. So is there a part of you that feels like you need to go back? And what if you, like all of those questions, right? I can imagine that there's some struggle there with that, or is there not?
Oh, massively for sure. I think it's like finding the courage in me, which I still haven't found. Like I know I need to go back. I know I need to reconnect. Also, he's coming in June, but once that period comes in June, which is in 2 months' time, from then here on out, everything will change for me greatly. Even after he leaves Costa Rica, whether I stay or I go, or what my next steps are. Like I honestly have no clue of what's next. As of right now, I'm just taking it each plan at a time, and the next plan that I know of is he's coming to Costa Rica to be with me in June. There's no end date to that, but I know he can be here for at least a month. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna take these little things as a win now, and then go from there bit by bit. But yeah, there's definitely that. It's definitely that thought that comes in every single day, having to stop my whole life, my plans, and everything, and doing what I have to do.
Yeah.
I think that this balance of how to spend quality time with our elders and maximize that time on while they're on the planet and feeling divided by life's demands, right? Unless you're in a position to just be so financially blessed that you don't have to think about work or significant other relationships, which most people on the planet are not in that position, right? Most of us in the planet, we have to focus on paying our bills, putting a roof over our head, putting food on our table, and caring for our significant others, whether that's a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or kids. And so I think that so many people in the world struggle with this exact same thing. How do I maximize my time with them and truly honor every moment that I can with them while they're living, but also continue to live my life? And I can't stop living my life. Where's the balance in that? And how do I do that without guilt? How do I do that without fear? How do I do that without the constant weight of it carrying on my neck?
Let's say I want to go to a waterfall tomorrow, or go surfing with my friends and things like that. Number one, it's different now. Even with my friends, I just can't be. And there aren't many people here or in life in general that you can show your mask even when remove the mask even when you're having fun. And as much as they're all friends, we're all fun and games, things like that. There's still that persona that I have to put on. They don't know what I'm going through, and vice versa. I don't know what they're going through, but to put that front and to go out and go to the waterfall and play and forget about all this, forget about my dad for a moment, or anything that feels like a sin or something that isn't right, doesn't sit right.
Just making a note here.
Yeah. And I did try, like last week, I went out to one of the national parks, went out for a surf trip, things like this. And yeah, it just didn't sit right with me.
What you're experiencing is a natural part of grief. And I think in this session for you, Sam, what I would like to do is to help identify the lower vibrational frequency things that you're carrying, such as fear. Grief is going to be there, and there's a gift in the grief that you're experiencing. And although I want to make the burden of grief easier, I don't want to take away the grief entirely. And I don't think we could do that in a session anyways, but grief is a beautiful teacher. There's a lot of wisdom that comes through grief. That, as me, having had lost a parent, a stepfather when I was really young, and also being widowed, I know that there is wisdom on the other side of grief that we can't get any other way. It has a gift to it, and it's excruciatingly painful. It's awful. It's something that we don't ever want to experience. And yet, on the other side of it is a wisdom that helps us become better people. It helps us to live life better. And so on the other side of this, there is an opportunity for you to come to celebrate life. there's an opportunity for you to come to being okay with and having peace in appreciating the beauty in each moment without feeling guilty or feeling bad that your dad's time is limited. Because I know your dad. I know that he wouldn't want you to carry the weight or the burden of his timestamp, of his expiration date. We all have an expiration date. The difference between us and your dad is he's aware of when his is, and the weight of that is heavy and it's hard for us. But I know that in no way, shape, or form would he or anyone who loves you want you to carry the weight of that and prevent you from being able to live life with peace or live life with the ability to appreciate the beauty of the wave or the beauty of a tree or a waterfall, whatever it is. You're in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. And one of the reasons I know that you choose to live there is because of the land that you live on, which is beautiful. And you've done well for yourself in this way. And to feel, it's one thing to feel grief for the loss of your dad. That's one thing. But to carry this weight of not being happy in the times that normally make you happy is a disservice to you and to your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Glad you said that. It's exactly the thought. It's like, given I'm a parent and I lost my dad as well. In the process of losing my dad, I felt the same way. I fortunately had him in the same town, so I didn't ever want to leave his side. I didn't want to go anywhere else or be anywhere else or do anything else. And I still had a whole life going on that I had to take care of. And finally, I got to the point where I realized that my dad would never want me to live like this and not be happy. It takes a while to get there. It took me a while to get there before I had this work and before I had these tools. Yeah, my dad would never want me to not be happy. And now it's like in honor of, right? Now that he's passed and been gone, and now it's in honor of. I have to be happy and carry on my life in honor of. Just kind of bring him with me wherever I go. But it takes a little bit to get there. That's for sure.
So is this the first, I don't think it is for you. Is this the first biggest loss that you've had in your life?
Like from a loved one?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So for a moment here, I just want to talk about grief in general before we dive in and tap into the subconscious and relieve some of this burden that you're carrying. I remember walking into a grief counselor and saying, okay, let's do this. I want to know how this grief is supposed to go. What are the cycles? What are the steps, right? I said, I don't want my grief I don't want to just pack it all down and then 10 years from now it shows up and then I have to deal with it in 10 years from now, right? So how do we do this? And she said, you're asking me for an owner's manual of grief. I go, yes, that would be great. If you could give that to me, that would be phenomenal. And she said to me, grief doesn't work like that. It doesn't, there's no owner's manual for grief. She said, but what I can tell you is this. Some days are going to suck. Some days you're going to be walking through a grocery store and you're just going to burst out in tears for what appears to be for no reason. You're just going to have a crying moment where you're just breaking down. And other days you're going to laugh and then that's going to cause you to cry. And some days you're going to feel crazy. And some days you're going to feel mad. And some days you're going to feel overwhelmed. And some days you're going to feel absolutely exhausted, like you just need to sleep the whole day. And some days you're going to laugh and everything's going to be fine. And you'll think for a moment that you've forgotten. And then the next day, it'll be something completely different. And she said, every one of these emotions is okay. And you have to give yourself permission to experience them. You have to give yourself permission to feel it no matter what it is. None of them are wrong. And it might change from hour to hour, but this is what grief looks like. It's messy and it gets easier in time. And there might be moments of it that never go away. She said, but in time, it will get easier. And this was a permission slip for me to be able to say, I'm having a bad day. and it's okay, and not try to fix it, or to have a good day and that be okay too. So that was a gift for me, and I just wanted to share that with you because I don't know, I needed to hear that. And if that helps you, I hope you can give yourself permission to feel whatever you're feeling, no matter what day it is or what hour it is. And the difference between a sudden loss and your situation is you're starting the grieving process now, or when you heard of this diagnosis, really. This is, you're experiencing grief, and that's what grief looks like. Any thoughts on that, Sam?
It's a lot of process now.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mind hasn't been the capability it usually is since it happened. Like my thinking's all over the place.
We'll try and clear that up as well. I'd like to narrow this down. So there's the question, how do I go on living my life like I was, knowing that my dad is dying? And I can't answer that for you. I don't know that Jamie can answer it for you any more than what we already have. But what we can do is clear the energy that prevents you from being able to come to that answer. How does that sound?
I like that.
Okay. Jamie, you on the same page with me on this?
Yeah, I listed a few other things, but I think it all comes together, right? We know all this stuff is interrelated, but put down that feeling of feeling scattered and having the mind all over the place. There's some other things that come into play with that. So people could be disconnected from themselves and feeling ungrounded. So I think scattered overall itself is its own kind of issue to look at. That might be worthwhile taking a look at. It's something I kind of made a note of as well, was you said something about having the courage to go on and next steps and not having any clue. So taking a look at anything that's blocking you or holding resistance to you, finding your courage and making the moves that you might need to make. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it. Sam, what do you call your higher power?
God.
God. Great. I may use the words God or Heavenly Father if that's okay with you. Either way, don't take offense to it. Yeah, okay. And are you okay with Jesus Christ being added into this?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe in him.
Okay, great. We'll be speaking the same language then. So what Jamie and I are going to do is we're both going to close our eyes and we're going to tap into your subconscious. And then her and I will test and ask who is best to work on you today. Is it me? Is it her? Or is it both of us? And we're also going to test and ask who is leading, starting, meaning who's saying the opening prayer or statement of intention. So your job is just to invite you to close your eyes and to open up your heart and just get yourself relaxed and ready to receive. And at any point in time, don't hesitate to stop us and ask us some questions. Sound good?
Roger that.
Okay. And I also want you to give your body permission to purge. And I know that it's not really comfortable to do on camera, and I want to respect that. But your body is holding a lot of energy. And when we do energy work, the body releases that energy through purging, laughing, crying, shaking, sweating, eyes watering, nose running, yawning, sneezing, all of those things. And if you do not let your body do that and have the willingness to be vulnerable, you're just going to keep it all inside. And today we're trying to get it out so that you can think clearer. So can you give yourself permission to cry if crying comes?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'll just start with the prayer, setting the intention.
Great.
Let's start with that and we'll take it from there. Sam, take a moment with us if you haven't already and start to deepen into the breath. It's deepening into the body. This is your moment right now. This time, although we're recording and we're on a podcast right now, it's just the three of us. You've been with us before. I just want you to hold space in the body to start to deepen in. Calling in your highest and best self. Calling in the version of you that knows everything there is to know, Sam. Bring it into the table. We're inviting him in. Come into this session today. I'm calling in for our Heavenly Father and our Savior, Jesus Christ. Calling in for Sam's highest and best self to be here with us. I'm asking that my highest and best self, Laura's highest and best self, work with Sam Keep breathing into the heart center, Sam. Keep calling in the highest self. Taking a disposition of opening the heart as we come together here in this session, looking to relieve Sam some of the burden that he's carrying on his shoulders. We're looking to connect him to his highest self so that he feels the support and the love and the truth that the higher self has to offer. And as we're calling forth in this session today, I'm calling in all truths that are hidden to be revealed. Calling in anything that's in the darkness, waiting to be seen, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be served with compassion and understanding, this sense of connection. Calling you forth. I know that everything in the darkness is just light. I know that we can be approached with love and light. Pulling forth Sam's ancestors that are able to take the truth and the love and the light of our Savior Jesus Christ. Asking for your ancestors to come forward in this time of need, in this time of new challenge for Sam as he transitions through what used to be his life into a newer version of his life, whatever that may look like. I'm asking for Sam's ancestors to stand beside him. You have been through this before. You have been here before. I'm asking for you to come forward for him and hold him as he goes through this. Give him your love. Give him your knowledge. Give him your memories, your wisdom, your internal recognition of what this is like. They can draw upon that strength. So he can draw upon the ability to keep moving forward in whichever way is going to be best for him. I know the ancestors have the power to do this. I have faith. I believe. I'm calling you in. Stand beside him and hold him up. I'm asking for Sam's spiritual support team to come in. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Talking to him. Keep giving him your intuition and your knowledge. Keep lining him up. And we bring in parts of him that feel uneasy, uneven, feeling a bit scattered, feeling a bit lost. May we start to bring these pieces back together. I'm asking for the spiritual support team to assist in doing that, gathering parts of Sam that he might have left somewhere so that he may draw upon his own strength and his own wisdom right now. He may draw upon his own light and flame to know what is best for his heart, so he can be the servant of the heart, calm the mind. The heart is the master here. Take a nice big breath into the heart space, Sam. Remembering that your heart is good. It's true, but it knows the answers. Within this heart lives everything you'll ever need. Within this heart lives everything that you could ever wish for. So thankful for this heart. Thank you. Thank you for this heart. Breathing Sam, mind, calm itself. Giving our gratitude to the mind. We're thankful that the mind protects Sam. We're thankful that the mind walks beside him. I'm asking for all patterns to quiet, still. We see you. May we remove any blocks and imbalances and misalignments that are keeping these thoughts in overdrive. And we bring Sam to a state of more calm and peace. He has time to cherish. He has time to be present when his father's there. He has time to really soak up all the moments, recognize the power that his father has, that Sam also possesses. That his father has, that Sam also possesses. We're calling that in. Instilling Sam with more courage, more vulnerability, more space to be present with his loved ones when they are there with him. So great. Thank you so much. Those that are here. Thankful to the elements. Thankful to the direction. May every direction have a gift for Sam, as Sam stands in the middle of his universe, transitioning from one form of life into another form of his life. May every direction be laden with a gift for him, be laden with beauty and tenderness, knowing that he is the conductor of this universe, and he has all the medicine he'll ever need. He has all the ability to heal that he'll ever need. So grateful. Thank you so much. or anything else needed for this intention or prayer. We do this work in honor of our higher selves. We do this work in honor of the collective. We do this work to honor our Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
Okay, Sam. The first thing that I'm identifying is we have a spirit-body disconnection here. So what I'm seeing is that you have a spirit-body disconnect. So this happens with trauma a lot of times. Give me a second. So there's a lot of things as I'm connected to you that I'm experiencing. The first one is the deep pain behind the heart. It literally physically hurts my heart. I can feel it, and it's coming from my heart all the way down my chest to my solar plexus, which is just below the sternum where the ribs meet. And so I can feel the pain in your heart, and it's deep. It's like really, really, really deep. And so I just want to acknowledge the pain that I'm feeling as I'm connected to you. And as I'm trying to calibrate what's called your level of frequency, your level of consciousness, it's very difficult to calibrate because of this spirit body disconnect. And so when we have sometimes something very traumatic, so it can cause our spirits to dislodge kind of from our body so that we're not fully present and fully here. So let me just calibrate the percentage of disconnect here.
This also, just so you know, Sam, when you have a spirit disconnect, can create that scatteredness that you might be experiencing where it's hard to focus or you're forgetting things. Or so when you don't know, when you don't have us, and you could experience it again, it's always great to ground, right? Feet in the sand, which I'm sure is easy for you to accomplish there, right? Or even getting your hands in the dirt. You could do things like start calling yourself back in, taking those deep breaths into the heart and repeating your name. I am Sam. I am Sam. I am Sam. Like calling yourself back. Because that spirit disconnect happens in more than once as you're going through this process. So I want to kind of invite that in for you when you're not with us and you're in the middle of something. Just be like, okay, this is what's happening, right? You start feeling that scattered. You start feeling that the hamster going too fast in the mind. You can call yourself back in, using your name, repeating your age, taking nice deep breaths back in. It's tough to make decisions when you're in that place. So you want to be able to make grounded decisions. And in order to do that, you have to be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite you to do what Jamie is suggesting right now. So if you could just sit back in your chair, close your eyes, take a nice big deep breath. And I want you to out loud repeat your name. My name is Sam, and do this slowly 5 times.
My name is Sam. My name is Sam. My name is Sam. My name is Sam. My name is Sam.
Go ahead and visualize your spirit and your body fully connecting in. Dropping in as if you're zipping your body as a meat suit. And even though you may not want to be here to handle all the things that life is putting you through right now, I need you to make a conscientious choice to be here now. To be here now, no matter how painful it is, no matter how much it sucks, I need you to choose to be here now. Because here is where your support is. Here is where your tools are. Here is where we can help you. But if you're disconnected, we're just dragging things out even longer. And so I invite you to be here now, visualizing your spirit coming in, dropping into your body, connecting fully at the toes. Visualize your spirit like stepping into your body as a meat suit. And you're dropping your spirit fully into your sit bone. Taking a deep breath, relaxing into this chair. Spirit and body fully connecting at the root chakra, just below the tailbone. Spirit and body fully connecting at the sacral chakra, just below the belly button. Taking a deep breath. Spirit and body fully connecting at the solar plexus. There you go. Spirit and body fully connecting at the heart. Spirit and body fully connecting at the throat chakra. Spirit and body fully connecting at the third eye. Spirit and body fully connecting at the crown, allowing you to be connected to your divine self, your divine wisdom, and to a spirit, the God, the Heavenly Father, divine source. There we go. All right, well done. All right, let me ask now, can I calibrate your LOC? We're right about at apathy, right? It's like this numb feeling. It's this numb, painful feeling. Would you say that you felt in many ways toggled between grief and numb? Does that sound like where you've been?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And
Between both.
how about fatigued? Would you say you felt like you'd rather just sleep?
Oh yeah, it's me today.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you know.
what else are you going to say?
No, just me. I kind of stopped working too much. I'm not stopped because I want to, or because there's just no creative juice in me to make any videos or do anything else. And I mean, it eliminates my income source to a certain extent, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's a good way of saying it. I'd like to reframe it as it is as it is, right? It is what it is. Sometimes makes it sound like we're a victim of the situation, but it is as it is. It just brings in this level of acceptance of it is as it is, which is you didn't have the energy to do it and it's totally okay. So we're going to try and restore some of that energy today so that we can bring you back into alignment. So that spirit body disconnect was causing you to be fatigued. And that passion, excitement, creative energy has just been wiped out. Your energetic frequency is about at apathy. So this makes sense why you've been feeling this way. All right, so I'm going to ask here the first primary underlying cause and priority. So the first primary underlying thing that we want to work on is this feeling that it feels like a sin to live your life. That's what's testing first. So we want to resolve the underlying cause of that. So that way you can live life and have peace about it and it not feel like a sin. So the first primary underlying cause to that is what we call a distortion of self. Give me a second.
And while she's working, keep taking deep breaths in, right? When you heard this lower frequency, we want to do all that we can to start bringing yourself back in, right? So deep breaths, opening up the chest, opening up the heart, bringing the air all the way down to the feet. It's really, we tend to shallow breathe, especially when we're stressed out. We'll forget to breathe, we'll hold our breath, or it won't even get past our chest. We'll see if you can bring it down to the belly. Keep opening into it. In through the nose, out through the nose. If it feels good, just keep bringing it in. What we're doing is trying to bring your frequency up at the same time while she's going to be finding these things that need to be removed, and imbalances.
The first one that's coming up is what's called noxious energy. And noxious energy is strong negative energy, usually from someone else towards you. And so noxious energy is really intended to sabotage you. And I don't like the way that this sounds when you're already in a place of grief and someone's either looking at you either with jealousy or envy or greed or trying to sabotage you. But that's the first thing that's coming up. And so noxious energy can come from anywhere at any time. And it can be something as small as someone looking at you saying, I can't believe he's traveling the world. I can't believe he's going places. And it's like this intent to like sabotage what you're doing. Or you cut them off in the middle of the road when you went to the grocery store or something. It can be something small like that. It could also be something bigger where you really pissed somebody off and they're thinking, I can't wait to get back to this guy. I can't believe he did this. So this is the definition.
Well,
Well, okay, you seem to have pissed somebody off, and as a result of it, you're being impacted by this noxious energy intended to sabotage you. As I'm clearing this, let me see. This is being like projected to you at your back. Okay. And so in your heart and in your mind, I just want you to say to yourself, I forgive everyone and everything, especially myself. I forgive everyone and everything, especially myself. So we're just going to clear this energy off of the back. And I'm using a magnet swiping over the governing meridian a couple times to send the intention of clearing that noxious energy off your back. Allowing it to go back into Mother Earth to reprocess, taking a couple deep breaths. There we go. So it's interesting that noxious energy is a low vibrational frequency energy, again, intended to cause you harm. And this was adding to you feeling like it was a sin to just normally live your life the way you used to. So I'm going to ask, are there any other contributions to this? The answer to that is yes. We're in your subtle body, which is your energy body. We're in the chakras. We're in the heart chakra. The heart chakra is testing as underactive. For those who use muscle testing and can use the SBT Energy Therapy mobile app to identify these things, we have everything from underactive to overactive to blocked to imbalance, and every one of them has a different symptom. And so when the heart is underactive, here is what the symptoms say. So it causes us to feel sorry for ourselves. It can cause us to feel paranoid. It can cause us to be indecisive. It can cause us to be afraid of letting go or being free, afraid of being hurt, and or afraid of family members getting hurt. Tell me that this isn't mind-blowing, Sam. This is literally like everything that you said that you were feeling.
Constant reassurance. Can't reach out.
Feeling terrified of rejection. And the sexual energy, which is the creative energy, it can cause us to feel not worthy of love. So we definitely want to get your heart chakra balanced. We have underactive heart chakra. Any questions? Any questions about that before I move on? Okay. So I want to remind you when the heart chakra is balanced, I want to remind you what that feels like, okay? Because I want you to invite it and step into it, okay? When it's balanced, you feel peaceful, you feel loving, you feel compassionate, warm, you feel tolerant, and you feel open. If I invite you and ask you to visualize your heart being open and balanced this way, can you get to that space in your heart?
Difficult.
Okay. Let's find the first thing. I know that it's difficult. The scriptures say that if you can have the faith of a mustard seed, that's all I need. I only need you to find just a glimpse of it. I don't need the whole heart to go there. I just need you to hold on to a little piece of it. So can I invite you for a moment to just close your eyes? And the emotion that I want you to tap into is love. I want you to think about all the people who love you without feeling guilty for that love. Just allow that emotion, allow that energy to just come into the heart. Take a deep breath and exhale the things that don't feel like love. Allow each breath to be a healing movement. While you're there, I'm going to be working on the first thing that makes it feel difficult. Your job is just to focus on that love. And I know that sadness is coming up. So as you're trying to tap into the love, the thing that's blocking you from feeling that love is sadness. From Jamie's side, I'm going to have her working on projecting love into the heart. And your job is to receive it.
I want to paint just a picture. right? To make it easy. Sometimes it's great to call upon memories of things as well are helpful. So Sam and I have plenty of good memories together. Pulling in love of making food together and watching kids' movies together, riding around Tamarindo on the back of the bike with Sam, laughing together. Those moments of love that we've had exchanged. I want to be able to give all that to you, Sam. Just have you feel so much love.
And as I'm transmuting this sadness for you, there's a lot of tears on my side. There's a lot of tears specifically of sadness that the heart is carrying. This is how we do the work. We just feel it. We just get out the sadness. It needs to come out. So there's so much sadness. It's too much for one person to carry. I invite you to use your intuition and your breath. You've been in many ceremonies, Sam, where we use the breath, where we use energy work. You've been around many shamans, and so if you feel that the weight of it on the body, feel free to use your intuition to brush it off, or to tap it out, or to cry it out, or yawn it out. I know that you're familiar enough with the work to know how to help intuitively move this energy out of your body. Take a nice big deep breath. Next one is a trapped emotion of yearning. Yearning is just a feeling of intense longing or craving or desire.
Doesn't mean that there's a direction for it either, Sam, right? Sometimes there's no direction for the yearning. It's just there, feeling like you need something else.
Yeah, I mean, when we're in so much grief, I don't know about either of you, and I don't want to fill in it for Sam, but yearning for things to be different, longing for things to be different than they really are, or be able to do more, or to save your dad, or to heal him, or any of those things, right? That's all yearning and longing. To know that anytime our loved ones are hurting, we have yearning for them to not be hurting. But there is an association to this. So every time we identify an imbalance, we identify the layer to it, right? Make sure that we find the root. And this yearning has a second. This is the energy of a memory cloud. A memory cloud is just like a ball of low vibrational stagnant energy in the auric field. And when you have this memory cloud hovering over you, this memory cloud could have been the day that you found out the news, or a thought or memory of your dad in pain, or maybe when he was struggling with something. And so this memory cloud can feel heavy and can feel dense, can cause you to feel extremely sluggish. Jamie has anything else to share about memory clouds as I clear this?
Memory clouds in particular, I think, are very heavy, right? It's the third eye, lays in the auric field. So even if you feel something heavy coming over you certain days, right, that can be part of it. So we just try to move it back behind you so it's not blocking your way in front of you. That's kind of the method there, but they are pretty heavy, and it will definitely kind of distort your vision of what you're doing. It makes a lot of sense that you have it there. I get that it's kind of young.
I can identify the age. This is actually from age 24. It's young, but not that young. The nice thing about memory clouds is we don't need to know what they are. We can just identify them and move them. So I'm asking, and it's cleared, I'm asking if there's any other associations to this feeling of longing or desire. The answer to that is no. we're going to transmute that. So releasing energy happens just the same way we said, where we can swipe over our governing meridian with intention ascension to Mother Earth. And while I'm testing for this, Jamie, will you explain transmuting energy for me?
Yes. Transmuting is when we take a lower frequency and we raise it to a higher frequency. So we could find an emotion to put in place of it. We could find an affirmation, something that would just come intuitively. So you're taking just that lower, the yearning, right? That unsatisfied, discontent feeling that creates, and raising it to maybe fulfilled or content or peace. Does that make sense? Bring it up to that higher frequency like that. It's nice to do it that way because then no matter how many different shades of yearning you have, we're capturing them all at once versus having to do one at a time. Whereas releasing can take a little bit longer than transmuting.
So this is really interesting what's coming up. I didn't really expect this. Okay. Sam, I want you to think about the people who in your life you feel are most wise as a result of all their experience. The people that you go to or that you reach out to when you need help. Do you have them in your mind?
Yeah.
So you're being asked to replace this yearning with the emotion of being experienced. So this experience that you're having is turning you into the one that is experienced and wise for other people to come to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I ask you to close your eyes and to tell me where this feeling of yearning or longing is in your body, are you able to feel it?
Yeah, definitely the heart's there.
Okay. So I want you to focus on the heart. And as you bring your awareness to that pain, that feeling that you have in the heart, I want you to invite it to turn itself into and to transform into the feeling of feeling and being experienced. But this is just a stage of your existence here on this planet that is able to experiencing this grief, experiencing this experience with your father and in life, and allow it to turn into wisdom, allow it to turn into knowledge. Bring in the openness with the breath for it to teach you. Surrender to it as the teacher of experience. Oh, you did that pretty quickly, actually. Wow. Okay, take another nice big deep breath. There's still pain in the heart. I can still feel it. But does it feel better? Can you breathe a little easier?
Yeah. Not that heavy.
All right. We're still working on it. All right. The next thing, keeping the heart underactive. I gotta say, Sam, although you may not have had it, experiencing the depth of this pain as I'm connected to you, because I don't have a lot of pain in my life anymore. There was definitely a lot of stress hormone releasing as I was connecting to you. Like my whole neck is like locked up and it's like a tension over my head. It really kind of sucks. So I empathize with whatever you
all right here,
you can
all
feel
in the torso. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep working on this underactive heart. Any other associations? Yes. Okay, the next one is another trapped emotion. This one did not. So this one's actually testing from a previous life. Do you believe in previous lives?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's something I'm still learning on, so I'm not fully, how to say, knowledgeable on it, but I'm not closed off to it.
Okay, that works. The good news is, in order for this work to work, We don't necessarily need to, we don't need to believe or even agree. It's just synergy.
Yeah.
So this is a previous life trapped emotion of impulsive, just acting without forethought. And this is easy since it's from a previous life and we can just release it. We don't need to transmute it. So any thoughts, memories, or emotions relating to being impulsive? Just take a deep breath and let those go on the exhale. Being impulsive means that you're acting or doing without being thoughtful, and that can hurt you. So you want to be mindful and thoughtful about the actions that you take. Are you sometimes impulsive, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
I see Jimmy smiling over there. Like, yep. Or me. I gotta get to my notes here on my next page. Okay. We're still on the underactive heart here. This is what we call a trade. A trade is where we think we have to give up something in order to receive something. For instance, one of the things that you said when you started was, I don't know how to go on living my life the way that I did, knowing that my dad is dying. It's almost like in order to show my dad that I love him, or that I truly care, or to be a truly caring son, I have to stay in grief or in the heaviness or the awareness that he's going to die. Or something of that nature. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but this would be an example of a trade, right? Where that in order to have something, we have to give up something. So I'll give an example that one of my clients had. He came to me because he hated his job. And he had a trade, a subconscious trade in his mind that said, I don't care what kind of job I have, as long as I always have a job. Which the universe said, well, deal. I will make you miserable at your job, and you will always have a job to support your family. Well, this is an illusion. We don't have to, that doesn't have to be true, right? He could have both. He can have a job he loves and have a job to support his family. So I'm going to see if I can identify this trade for you is as best as I can. And then if Jamie has anything else she wants to add about trades, then she can add that to it. But I'm going to see if I can identify what. The thing about trades is they don't always make sense. We are usually giving up something, and sometimes we're giving up two positive things, and they don't always make sense, but I'll try the best I can to identify it.
I'm feeling called to share this in particular with you, and for anyone that's listening that may think and act the same way you do. Of course, you have to do to get. There's this feeling going on that I'm picking up of. Some people may think that trades are like, we're programmed in society to be like, no, we must do this in order to have this. Of course, there's always a trade, right? You don't get anything for nothing, right? The old narrative that you hear a lot out there. When we talk about a trade like this, it's like there's falsity behind it because you really do have the ability to create abundance and be a creator in your life. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your happiness or your joy or your peace in order for you to have the full life that you're meant to have. Does that make sense, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that goes for anyone else that's listening too. But there's this, I know that it gets programmed into us from a really young age that you've got to get up and go to work and you've got to work hard and you've got to sacrifice and you've got to do all these things for your family in order to be there. And that kind of stuff that we're working to overcome and realizing we're not meant to come here and sacrifice our joy and our happiness and our life force. When we go to work and we give, we're giving our life force. We're not meant to just give that up and be miserable in return. So
Yeah.
I'm called to share that for you and as well as anyone else that might need to hear that, but for you in particular, you don't just give up your life force to fit whatever we're supposed to be fitting out there.
Yeah.
Getting rid of this trade is really helpful for a lot of reasons.
Okay, so hold on. Well, I think I get it. Let me see. Okay, so the word that's coming up is redeemed or redemption. So let me ask Sam, do you in your life feel like prior to your dad's diagnosis, the life that you were living, do you feel like you were redeemed or redeemed yourself from your childhood? Meaning
Right.
that, did you feel that your life was good to the degree that it was redeemed, or that there was some sort of like redemption? Like maybe your younger years were so hard, and now in your young adult years, there's been some redemption and now things are better.
I felt closer to it for sure. I wouldn't say better, but I felt it's definitely better. I mean, but we're still working towards. But I felt near, didn't felt far.
Felt nearer than it was further.
Yeah, it's like this whole cycle of life is like when you overcome one and you're nearing peace, and then the whole new thing just dropped on you, and then you just restart all over again.
Yeah. Like this, I thought I was kind of getting a break for a little bit, and now
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm being hit again.
Yeah, I,
Go ahead.
no, I just like I was nearing that peace that I was starting to feel being back in Costa Rica. I didn't have any weird things going on in my life. Everything was normal, and it's as mundane as it sounds to many people. Like some people are moving, or at least in my generation, people are like, "Oh, I want to travel the world. I want to do this and do that." But in my phase of life, I was kind of in that transition of switching back to just sitting my ass down and just doing nothing. No, there's no stories to create for the moment. There's nothing cool or crazy that needs to be done, or it's just me here. Nothing. Yeah, that felt nice to me, reaching that stage, and then boom.
Yeah. Here you are creating a stable
Mhm.
of peace where nothing crazy is going on. And then this happens.
Yeah.
So it's saying that you're trading this peace, this happiness that you had, that you accomplished, for your positive thoughts. So let me give, trades are interesting because they're sometimes too positives. Like they don't make sense. That's what I was meaning. Like they don't make sense, right? It's
Mhm.
almost like a subconscious belief that in order for me to continue some sort of normalcy, I have to think negatively. I know that doesn't make sense, but you're literally trading, it says you're literally trading this redemption that you had for positive thinking. Like you're now having negative when you want, sorry, the other way around. When it's trading the positive thinking for this redemption, it's like you're giving them both up. Here you achieved this space of this home that you're working towards, of just having peace with nothing crazy going on. And now you're also giving up your positive thoughts that were going with that. Does this resonate with you?
Mhm.
So we need to wash this trait away so that you can continue to have positive thinking and can continue to. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have this hard experience. It just means that you can still have positive thinking with it.
Mhm.
Fair? Okay. So, will you give yourself permission to have positive thinking during this horrible time?
I have to work on it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It would definitely take work. It would take,
Yeah.
yeah. Jamie,
Yes.
I know that you have a personal experience of a friend who is dying, who has been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And I know because of my meetings with you, and I hope you're okay with me putting you on the spot right here. I know in our meetings, you have, with me, spent much time in tears that your friend is dying, or been diagnosed with this going towards healing, but that their body is shutting down. And there has been a lot of the same things Sam is talking about. While I clear this trade, can you give any wisdom about how you maintain positive thinking, even though?
Sure.
Sorry
I
to
would
put
love
you on
to.
the spot.
It's interesting the way you just painted that picture because yeah, Sam, I never like to share my stories when it comes to someone else's story because I would never want to take away from what you're going through. I would never in a million years want you to feel like I'm saying, "Oh, I know how you feel," because I'm not in your shoes, Sam. Everyone's grief is personal. And yeah, to what Laura said, I've bawled my eyes out many a times to think, how can I go on and survive when this person could pass? They have an expiration date, they have a timestamp, they have a right? They've been told maybe 2 years, maybe 3, and it feels so wrong. And the only way that I can really come back into my body and really start to deal with it is to put my faith in the fact that this is what their soul chose. I come back to, and this might be way far out there thinking. So if I've never painted this picture to you, I'm going to paint it right now. I like to think that you and I, Sam, before we came in here, we decided what we were going to experience, right? You were like,
Mhm.
I'm going to go travel the world and rock that boat life for however long I'm going to rock it for. And then you turned in your story to Jesus or God, whoever takes it, and they said, story, I love this. Why don't you go do this? And so we come down here and we do it. And then we have all these hardships that we chose to learn along the way. For some reason or another, we chose to learn these things. I don't know why. I don't know how it's getting our soul further. I just have faith in the fact that we made these decisions ahead of time. So when I'm watching my friends that are probably going sooner than I want them to, I think, well, I have faith in the fact that she chose this. I have faith in that this was meant for her. I have faith in the fact that she knows how to get through this and that I only get to love her for so long in a physical form. I get to love her forever. And I know it sounds so cliche, right? So many people you might have heard say this, and some of these things may sound cliche, but they're cliches because they work.
Mhm.
You can actually apply it. And so I do think to myself, like, I have to get up at the gym. I have to take care of my body because my story's not over yet. I have to eat right. Right. I do all these things I know are keep me going. And then I just send my love to that person. And I love her. And I'm grateful that I met her. And I'm grateful that she's here. And I'm grateful that even though she's going to go sooner than I want her to, that this was her story. This was her decision. This is how she decided to come in. It sucks for you and I, but at the end of the day, maybe they're going to go somewhere way better. Right?
Yeah.
And the pain will be gone. That's the part I like. Pain will be gone. And that's how I stick with my positive thoughts. And I work with affirmations, which if you don't know that about me, I do work with affirmations. I have to. Like looking myself in the eye and saying them to myself. That
Yeah.
helps. I don't know if that's what Laura was thinking of, but that's what comes to mind when I think about sharing with you. This is what they wrote in their story. And this is what their soul was supposed to experience in this incarnation of them. And who am I to say that they're not supposed to do it? Who am I? You know, they chose it. Great. It's just really tough for us to think about having to say goodbye to somebody. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was able to clear this trade, and your level of consciousness is much higher than it was when we started, which is at 255. I want to be mindful of the time. I asked if I could now balance your heart chakra, and the answer was no, because the next thing that's coming up is a broken heart. So energetically, our hearts can literally break. They can break in multiple pieces at multiple periods of time. and we would need to tap in to find out exactly how many pieces, we can find out what age they broke, and then identify what each piece needs in order to heal your broken heart. And this can usually be done in 1 to 3 sessions. But let me just ask, I'm going to first identify how many pieces your heart is broken into. Does it feel like you have a broken heart, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was tapped into, that's exactly what it felt like.
It's always
Well, it's always been broken. Yeah, okay then. Then we might have some inner child broken pieces here. Let's see. Can I know how many pieces Sam's heart is in, please? Oh, jeez. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. Do you want to take a guess? If you had to guess how many pieces your heart was in, what would you guess?
1 million.
1 million. That's really rough, man.
No, I don't know.
It's a lot. It's in 10 pieces.
That's
So,
the number that came in my head. That's
yeah.
exactly what popped in is 10.
So
'Cause
this is
it's scattered all over the chest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have great news, Sam. The heart can heal from anything, literally anything. And when we take the time to heal the heart, it not only comes back stronger and purified and more cleansed, we get to a stage to where, as Maureen St. Germain once said, never avoid a blow to the heart. And I know that sounds crazy to most people, right? Like, well, that's what we're all walking around trying to do, is to protect our hearts. But the reality is that our hearts have the ability to process everything through it, all the trauma, all the sadness, all the grief, right? It's really hard to do when it's broken. So we need to get that healed for you for sure. I say we need you'll heal it. We meaning helping you, right? But when your heart is healed, then you'll be able to receive clear messages from your heart, and divine inspiration comes instantaneously, and you'll feel whole and you'll feel connected. I'm going to see what's recommended here. Give me a second. So we don't have time to work on those here, but let's schedule a session to work on those. And let's see what's recommended for you now here.
I want to share something that
Go-
came in too.
Go for it.
Just as we were talking about that, there's a practice, Sam, that can help you in the morning before you get out of bed, before you start moving, before you do anything. Bring the hands over the heart, okay? Connect with the heartbeat and just take some deep breaths in and asking this heart to come back into center. That's what just came in for you. Is like, just, it's simple, right? You don't have to lay there very long. Not just before you pick up your phone, before you look at anything else, before you decide what you're going to do that day, right? Bring the hands over the heart, connect with the heartbeat, and just kind of breathe into it for a moment. You can even ask, what do you need today? And see if you can get anywhere with that. But really, if you don't feel like doing that step, just at least connect with the heartbeat in the morning and take a few breaths into it, okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Start healing it on your own. Because when you have it scattered all over, like I can see it scattered all over the chest, you want to centralize by connecting to the heartbeat.
Okay, and here's the next one, okay? Which is really beautiful because I know, Sam, you just got done sharing how you went out into nature and how it was really hard, right? It was really hard to just experience the beauty of nature. But your subconscious, your spirit is taking me to these exact words. Spend time in nature and with animals. And you're being asked to, in your own way, in your own heart, and in your own prayers, ask God to heal your heart. And so every time you see a sunset, every time you see a waterfall, every time you see a wave, every time you cuddle with a dog, right? And you're feeling that pain, take a deep breath and take a moment to breathe in the healing power of Mother Earth and these animals, and ask God to heal your heart so that we begin to work on this. Because your heart can and will heal, but it takes a little bit of effort and assistance. And it's a lot easier to do with God than without God. So I'm glad that you have that relationship. And of course, we can help you in sessions as well.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts? Any questions?
No, it's been good.
Do you feel a little bit better than when you started?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, your level of consciousness. I saw that. Your level of consciousness went from apathy, which is the vibrational frequency of 50 up to 255. So we're definitely doing better, but your heart chakra is still underactive. We still got some extra work and love to give you. And
Mhm.
yeah, we hope that this at least helped for today.
Definitely did.
Good.
To remind the listeners too, right? Not everything is one and done. These sessions that we'll be doing here, it's not just going to be one and done. So we will follow up with Sam privately off of our session here and keep working with him, continuing to mend this broken heart.
Yeah. The other thing is helpful, I think, to mention here is that when people book sessions with us, like in a client, consultations and evaluations are always free when you go to matchwithahealer.com. And when we're in that consultation or evaluation, we can identify the underlying cause of the thing that you're suffering from. And then even though we're not psychics, we can measure the energy in motion, and we can ask, based on the information we know right now, how many sessions will this take to heal? And that way we can have a good idea of how long it would take to heal it. And I can do that for you, Sam. Now I know that you work with Jamie sometimes. Would you like me to test that? How many sessions that would take?
Yeah.
Okay, let's ask. Give me a second. In your mind and in your heart, I'd like you to make a decision in your mind right now. I would like my heart to be healed and whole. I'm ready for my heart to be healed and whole. So make that decision in your mind right now. Repeat it in your mind. You do that within 5 sessions with Jamie. Pretty good. Yeah. And then, of course, timelines can always change based on what you do in between. And we know that you have other sacred practices that you use from plant medicine and meditation and other tools and resources. But if it was just
I've been far away from it all lately.
Say that again.
I've been far away from all those lately, from everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's get you back to it.
Yeah, I need it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being vulnerable, Sam. Thanks for being here. We're so grateful for your presence, and we'll see you soon.
Likewise. Appreciate you guys always.
Sam.
Thank you so much.
We thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, we invite you to please go on and leave a review and share this with someone who you think it may have resonated with. And if you want to be a guest on our podcast, just go to matchwithahealer.com. Under contact, you'll see a Be Our Podcast guest form. Submit that and we'll reach out to you.